Hello students, in continuation with the last 3 episodes, we now move into the fourth episode of this lesson, measurement and measuring instruments. And in this fourth episode, we are going to see some important topics that are using a screw gauge. We are going to measure a thin or a thickness of a coin, then measuring a mass and difference between the mass and the weight. Finally, we are going to see the accuracy in measurements. With this lesson or with this session, we are going to close the lesson 1 of your 9th standard physics. To measure the thickness of a thin coin using a screw gauge, we have to follow some steps. That means the steps are, we have to determine the pitch, the least count and the zero error of the screw gauge initially. Okay, first of all we have to find the least count and the zero error of the screw gauge and the pitch and edge scale divisions. Second one, we have to place the coin between the two studs which you have saw in the last class. Third one, you have to rotate the head until the coin is held firmly but not tightly with the help of the ratchet. Then note the reading of the pitch scale which is crossed by the head scale. Okay, here we mention that as PSR, and the head scale divisions that coincides with the pitch scale axis is HSC. The width of the coin is given by PSR plus CHSR. The CHSR means corrected head scale reading. PSR means pitch scale reading. And finally, repeat the experiment for different positions of the coin. Now tabulate the reading. Let me show how to tabulate the readings. See, the average of the last column readings given with the width of the coin. Here the tabulation is there. First one, the serial number. We have to take 3 positions to calculate the thickness of the coin, and PSR, pitch scale reading in millimeter, and head scale correction is in divisions. The CHSC, corrected head scale correction, is equal to HSC plus or minus 0 correction division. And the fourth one, we have the column CHSR is equal to CHSC, corrected reading is equal to corrected into the LC. LC is the least count, which we have to define the least count initially. The first point, we have defined the least count, and which is in millimeter. Therefore, finally, the total reading is equal to pitch scale reading plus CHSR, corrected head scale reading in millimeter. If you take 3 readings in 3 different positions, then you have to mean the 3 total readings. If you mean that, that means you have to add the 3 and divide by 3, then you will get the final millimeter, which shows you the thickness of a thin coin. Using this screw gauge, you can measure this thickness of this thin coin easily, and you can also measure the thickness of a teacup using this screw gauge. Finally, we receive the width of the coin in millimeter. Now, measuring mass. We commonly use the form weight, which is actually the mass. Many things are measured in terms of mass in the commercial world. The SI unit of mass is kilogram. In any case, the units are based on the terms purchased. For example, we buy gold in gram or milligram, medicines in milligram, provisions in grain and kilogram, and expresses cargo in tons. Can we use the same instrument for measuring the above listed items? Different measuring devices have to be used for items of smaller and larger masses. In this section, we will study about some of the instruments used for this measuring masses. First one, we are going to see about the common beam balance. This is the common beam balance, which you can see in normal shops. This beam balance compares the sample mass with a standard reference mass. The standard reference masses used here are 5 gram, 10 gram, 20 gram, 50 gram, 100 gram, 200 gram, 500 gram, 1 kg, 2 kg and 5 kg. The second one which you can use here is 2-pan balance. This is the 2-pan balance. This type of balance is commonly used in provisions and grocery shops. This balance compares the sample mass with the standard reference mass. Next one, we are going to see about the physical balance. This balance is used in labs and is similar to the beam balance, but it is a lot more sensitive and can measure mass of an object correct to a milligram. The standard reference masses used in this physical balance are 10 milligram, 20 milligram, 50 milligram, 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 500 milligram, 1 gram, 2 gram, 5 gram, 10 gram, 20 gram, 50 gram, 100 gram and 200 gram. You can see this physical balance commonly in the jewelry shops. Have you seen this? Yeah, they used to open this door and they will place the gold and the weighing masses here, and they will close the door because the air can change the mass on both sides. Next one, digital balance. Nowadays, for accurate measurements, digital balances are used. This balances measures mass accurately even up to a few milligrams. The least value being 10 milligram. This electrical device is easy to handle and commonly used in jewelry shops and the labs. This is that digital balance. Nowadays it's very common, is it? Next one, the spring balance. This balance helps us to find the weight of an object, and it consists of a spring fixed at one end and hook attached to a rod at the other end. It works by Hooke's law, which explains that the addition of weight produces a proportional increase in the length of the spring. That means this spring will be raised. Usually you can see this spring balance in weighing the old paper mart. Now let's see what is the difference between the mass and weight. It's a very important question. Okay, so take a accurate difference between this mass and weight from my explanations. Mass M is the quantity of matter contained in a body. Okay, the quantity of matter, that means the particle or material which is contained in the body. And what do you mean by weight, which is denoted by the symbol W, is the normal force N exerted by the surface on the body to balance against the gravitational pull on the object. Each and every object in this world will have a gravitational pull. In the case of a spring scale, the tension in the spring balances the gravitational pull of the object. Now let's see the difference between mass and weight. First one, mass is a fundamental quantity and weight is a derived quantity. Second point, mass has magnitude alone, so it's a scalar quantity, but the weight is a vector quantity because it has magnitude and direction. The third point, mass is the amount of matter which is contained in the body. But here in weight, it is the normal exerted by the surface on the object against gravitational pull. Here in mass, it remains the same, but in weight, it varies from place to place. Mass is measured using physical balance and the weight is measured using spring balance. The unit of mass. Dear students, using this difference between mass and weight, let's find the weight and mass of a man who is standing on the surface of the earth or floor. The surface exerts a normal force on the body which is equivalent to the gravitational force. I think you all know about the force of gravitation or the difference between a normal force and the gravitational force. Is it so? Okay. With reference to your knowledge, let me explain about this gravitational force. The gravitational force acting on the object is given by mg. That means m is the mass of the object and g is the acceleration due to gravity. So, if a man has a mass of 50 kg on the earth, then what is his weight? Here W is equal to, that means weight is equal to mg and mass of the man is 50 kg. So, his weight is equal to 50 into 9.8, that means m into g. If you multiply this, you will get the W is equal to 490 Newton. The pull of gravity on the moon is 1/6 times weaker than that of the earth. This causes the weight of the object on the moon to be less than that on the earth. But in earth, a 50 kg mass on the earth will have a weight of 490 Newton, right? The acceleration due to gravity on the moon is 1.63 meter per second square. So, if a man with a mass of 70 kg is on the earth will have a 686 Newton, and on moon he will have a mass of, that means the weight of a man will be 114 Newton, but his mass is still 70 kg on moon. Remember, even you are in moon or you are in earth, your mass will be same, but your weight will be multiplied with the acceleration due to gravity. The acceleration due to gravity in earth is 9.8. At the same time, the acceleration due to gravity in the moon is 1.63 meter per second square. Student, so far we have learned lot about the measurements, is it? All this should have a accuracy in measurements. When measuring physical quantities, accuracy is very much important in each and every measurements. If it is not there, then the measurement will not be valid. Accuracy represents how close a measurement comes to a true value. Accuracy in measurement is centered in engineering, physics, and all the branches of science. It is also important in our daily life. When measuring, we strive to be as accurate as possible. Measuring instruments are calibrated by the manufacturers to make sure that they are accurate. You might have seen in jewelry shops how accurately they measure the gold. What will happen if little more salt is added to food while cooking? So it's important to be accurate when taking measurements. Faulty measurements and human error can lead to inaccurate values. In order to get accurate values of measurement, it is always important to check the correctness of the measuring instruments all the time. So, let me explain what do you mean by this accuracy. Accuracy refers to how close a measured value is to the actual value or true value. Then what do you mean by this precision? Precision is how close repeated sets of measured values are to each other. Also, reading the measurement and getting the average value can correct the errors and give us accurate value of the measured quantity. The scientists try to avoid error in measurement by following the correct procedures for using measurement or measuring tools and by measuring them by multiple times. But it's not possible. Okay, the measuring for multiple times is not possible. But if you use the measuring instrument well and good, then the measurements will also be accurate. Thank you, students. With this we come to an end of the first lesson. Okay, so study well and prepare well